Those clips reveal some very important information as it relates to fast food restaurants and the origin of McDonald's. It was a profit-based food company that didn't really put the customer's well-being as its #1 priority. That's why poorly raised meat is laced with preservatives and chemicals. On top of that, when observing the French fries, they didn't decompose or grow any kind of mold after months of sitting there. So if nature isn't breaking down the fries, then what is your digestive system doing? Is the food going to break down in your system and become part of you? Or is it going to gum up your cells and arteries? Are they giving you food, or are they giving you imitation food? You know, something with the form of foodliness, but denying the ability to bring life and nutrition into your body? Yeah, that's something to think about next time you go to McDonald's with the intention of eating instead of just stopping in there to use the restroom on an out-of-town trip. My advice to people today would be to leave a lot of these restaurants alone, because eating out all the time is basically going to cut your life expectancy in half. On top of that, oftentimes in these restaurants, they're not really in the mind frame of really giving much of a crap about your health. Wait, actually they are. Did you know that people have found traces of fecal matter in their food? They clearly gave a crap about those customers. You have to keep in mind that many restaurants don't really care about the cleanliness of their products, especially if people don't make an active stand towards ensuring that their food is being prepared sanitarily. Many times before the food is even delivered to the restaurant to be prepared, you know, things like hot dogs, burger buns, or other types of bread, it's processed in very unsanitary factories where mice breed because of food droppings. Also, the machines aren't really cleaned all the time like you'd hope. So people are getting food poisoning because of trace amounts of really old food that wasn't cleaned off of the machine before the next batch of bread was baked. Have you ever looked at a package of something like Oreos and it said on the back of the label, may contain nuts? Almost as if they're unsure whether or not there are nuts in the cookies that clearly aren't listed in the ingredients list. Either they're in the cookies or they're not. I mean, what kind of incompetence are we dealing with? You don't bake a batch of cookies and not know what the heck is in it. How the heck does old peanut residue end up in a batch of Oreo cookies in which peanuts aren't listed as one of the ingredients? I'll tell you how. They use their food processing machinery to process more than just Oreos. And they don't always clean the machines in between usage. Or when they do clean the machines, they're not properly sanitized. Also, let's look at another side of negligent, trifling food making techniques that are observed, particularly in restaurants, but also in food processing plants. There are cases of human DNA being found by scientists in burger meat. Like, what kind of filthy foolishness is going on that human DNA is ending up in food? Well, there are accidents sometimes in these restaurants. Sometimes the most likely cause is hair, skin, or fingernail that was accidentally mixed in during the manufacturing process. That is just plain nasty. But sometimes human DNA isn't mixed into food accidentally. Sometimes people are trifling and will spit in the drink, do their hair over the waffles in a Waffle House.
Stomach turning video, 2 Waffle House employees were caught doing their hair in the kitchen as they prepared food.
Pee in a machine responsible for processing Kellogg's cereal dough.
A graphic video of a man urinating on a Kellogg's cereal conveyor belt in Memphis surfaced on the internet. The video is so disgusting that it can't be shown without major alterations. WMC Action News 5 found when the video was filmed and the specific cereal contaminated.
This video is so graphic. What it shows, so disgusting that we had to blur almost the entire screen. It shows a man peeing on the Kellogg's conveyor belt as food comes down the machine as he records the entire filthy act. Consumers are disgusted by the act.
Or there will be bacteria from fecal matter found in the ice cubes of a KFC drink. Or there will be a chef that prepared curry after wiping his nasty behind with his bare hands for cultural reasons. Would you like some boo-boo containing hot chili cheese fries? Well, then go hit up a random restaurant. Who knows, you could get lucky. Anyway, last but not least, other things end up in restaurant or processed food that don't necessarily belong there. You know, things like rat hair, rat feces, rat pee, or just the entire rat itself. There are many horror stories about people who thought they were getting a Chicken McNugget meal, but actually messed around and ended up with a Chicken McMouse snack. Not to mention rumors of other horrible things that have ended up in people's food, like French flies, crispy moth, crunchy chicken heads complete with eyes, beak, and feathers, and much more. I'm not trying to scare people from eating out. Actually, yes I am. You're putting yourself in the line of fire for possibly receiving some potentially filthy garbage by going and eating out at these restaurants. You'd be better off buying the materials needed to make your own food, set aside a day for cooking, and if you just so happen to enjoy burgers, make a bunch of patties and freeze them, and get some bread at a local bakery. Now, you might say that you have absolutely no time whatsoever to cook your own food, to which my reply is okie dokie. Continue to put yourself and your family at the risk of eating contaminated, filthy, nasty food. I can't stop you from eating overly processed restaurant junk, but I can sure warn you, when eating out, you never know what you're gonna get.